If you want to start sewing or you have been sewing for a while and you feel like it's becoming expensive, this video is for you. Because sewing on a budget doesn't mean buying the cheapest stuff possible. In my opinion, it means that you have to make decisions so you get the most out of your money that you put and invest into this skill and hobby. That way your tools, your decisions, your fabrics, your pieces that you make will be most worn, most used, and therefore most worth of your money. And especially if you want to make high quality things, if that is one of your biggest values, then you definitely don't want to buy the cheapest things that are out there. You want to buy the things that are most worth of your money to make gorgeous pieces in beautiful fabrics with nice tools. Hello, all my favorite people. Today I want to talk about sewing on a budget, but not in a way that is cheap, but in a way that makes sense and that is worth of your money. Because you can buy cheap fabric, but that also means that you wear it once and then it disappears, lose colors, so whatever. So cheap becomes expensive really fast if you don't buy the right things. The big difference, I think, is in buying cheap things and buying valuable things. I don't want you to buy fabrics that fall apart after 2 times washing, or buying a sewing machine that gives you a lot of stress every time you use it, or the goals that I have, of course. So I like to buy less but better. I like to make timeless pieces. I like to use fabrics that last like really, really long. And I like to build a skill in a long-term way so that I can save money long term. We dive into that more in a bit. Okay, the first tip that I have: borrow a sewing machine first. This is how I started with sewing. I borrowed a machine from a friend of my mom. You will be surprised how many people have a sewing machine they don't use or don't use often, and they are very happy to loan it to you because they are not using it and it is a machine that should be used, so they are very happy if it's used by someone who's excited about using it. So ask around your mom, your friends of your mom, whoever you ask, but ask around and you will be surprised how many people have a sewing machine, how many people don't use it, and how many people are happy to loan it to you in the time you're learning. And then when the time comes to buy a machine, you will know what you're missing, what you want in a machine, what you do like, what you don't like. Same as with relationships. If you have a relationship that did not work, you know what you want in the next one and you know what you don't want in the next one. So it's building up a relationship with a machine so that you can make a good decision in what works for you. What I would definitely not do is buy a random secondhand machine. And what I mean by that is going online, searching for a machine and then buy one. Not because we don't trust the people that sell it, but it is a service-based machine, so it needs service. If you buy it at, for example, a local shop, you can always go back with your machine to that local shop. If it needs something, if it broke, if whatever happens, that can always happen, of course, even if you buy it secondhand. But if you buy it secondhand, you're kind of alone for it. But if you buy it at a shop that you have a connection with the people, they are happy to help you fix the problem. And if you want to buy secondhand, you can also do that via shops. That would be a better option, or do it via someone who you know. Maybe the person who lent you their machine wants to sell it to you afterwards. And then you trust the people, you know them, you know the machine, you know that something can break, but you can ask them where they bought it and then go back to those stores. So try to keep the circle of where you buy it on a surface-based machine close to your home so that you can always go somewhere with issues, with problems, to get it maintenance and all those things. Invest in things that you know that you want. A good machine can be in euros around 400 or 500 euros. So it's not cheap, but it's also not too expensive. And then you have a good B-type machine. My brother's machine was 460 euros that time, and I still have it after 9 years. I can always go back to the store where I bought it. The cost per use on my machine is so low at this moment that it was worth every penny. So that is the first tip I will give you. Don't buy cheap or random secondhand or whatever. Try to make an intentional decision in the machine that you buy, and then you will have long time joy from it, which makes it the cost per use way less, which is nice. Okay, the next tip is that you will definitely not have to buy all the sewing tools at once. So just get the basics, the scissors, measuring tape, pins, borrow that machine, fabrics, a seam ripper, and stop there. Go sewing. You can do everything with those tools and see then what you miss. Work a lot with bias tape. You don't know that when you have not started yet, but if you notice that you work a lot with bias tape, you can buy those tools that you may pre-make your bias tape. And then it's a useful tool. You're going to use it a lot. It's worth the penny. But if you don't use a lot of bias tape and you buy all the tools for making bias tape, then you have the tools, but you're not going to use them. So start with the basics and then see what techniques you use a lot and see if there are tools that can help you make those techniques easier and faster. Okay, and then fabrics. Of course, for making toiles, there's a different approach to that. If you are going to make timeless pieces, you want the fabric to last long because the intention is to wear the piece long. So really focus on buying quality fabrics and not the cheapest fabric possible. The goal is what gives the most value over time, not what is the cheapest right now. I like to work with natural fibers or fibers that are not natural, but they have specific qualities. For example, this tube top, I have it for I think 5 years now. It's not natural fiber, it's travel fabric, and that is a very, how do you say that? Type of fabric has had a lot of improvements over the times, and now the qualities of those fabrics are really nice. So they are very strong, they stay long, the color stays, it does not wrinkle. So it is not natural, but it has a lot of qualities that help with making it last very long, which for me also means it's sustainable. But of course, those opinions can differ per person. Other than that, cottons are really good fibers that are cheap and you can sew almost everything with that. Linens are nice, viscose. I also really like jersey bamboo fabrics. Yeah, so those are materials that I reach for a lot. Other than that, I really like to work with secondhand or vintage fabrics because old qualities are just better. Back in the days, they put more time and effort into making things because less things had to be made, and now we need more to make, we think at least. So the quality has gone a lot back because we need more, faster, cheaper, and yeah, those things don't pre-exist. You can't have things that are good quality that are made fast and cheap, if that makes sense. Those are always in comprehension with each other. So if you want high quality things, it needs to be made with a bit more intention, and it probably is a bit more expensive, but it lasts longer. So the cost per wear will also be less because you can wear it for a longer time. And this is where you can really separate yourself from fast fashion, really making those intentional decisions in the quality and therefore see the value of a price in a fabric. So if you see something in a store that is 100% polyester, that is not worth like 80 euros. That is worth 20 euros. And if you see things in good qualities, you will feel that, you will notice that, and try to look for those qualities. Okay, the fourth tip is where can you find good quality fabrics and that are more affordable? Thrift stores. Amazing for vintage fabrics, old tablecloth, old bed sheets, lots of fabrics for a good price and good quality if they are a bit older. As I said, the qualities used to be way better. Also curtains, towels. What I also really like is search for designer deadstock. In my neighborhood, I have a store that sells designer deadstock and the prices are a bit higher, but the qualities are insane. So if you see the price quality values, then it's really good price for a really good quality. So that is how I like to look at buying fabrics and buying designer, buying deadstock. That's also a good way to save money. It's most of the time it's a bit cheaper because it's waste, but it's still amazing, good. So they can sell for a bit cheaper, still in good qualities. And then also another good way to find fabrics is on Vinted. A lot of people sell fabrics on Vinted. You can search for qualities, you can search for patterns, you can search for locations. So maybe you like fabrics from Spain, from certain regions, from France, whatever. You can search all of that on there. Also, trimmings and sewing tools would be a good way good to find via Vinted. And then last thing, fabric markets. You can get a good deal on fabric markets. They are amazing. You can feel a lot of different fabrics, a lot of different sellers, a lot of different types of fabric, mix of vintage and new ones. So those are also really nice places to go for affordable, good quality fabrics. Okay, the fifth tip is don't go and buy all the cute patterns that you see. I know there are a lot of fun and cute patterns out there, but there are also tons and tons of videos and resources and things you can make without a pattern. So of course, buy a pattern if you're obsessed with it and you really want to make it in multiple colors, then it's worth the money. But you can also start with sewing, and if you have been sewing for long, and then just draft using your measurements, using shapes that are easy to learn, also new techniques that teach you how to start understanding patterns and body measurements and how to construct things together. So try to dip your toes into self-drafting using measurements. For example, this tube top, very easy to make that without a pattern. I'm sure no one has a pattern for that, but if someone would have a pattern for that, you don't have to buy it because you can very easily draft it yourself. And it also really gives you more knowledge and learns you the skill of pattern drafting and understanding measurements instead of just buying it and then copying it. And in the end, a scale will save you more money than a shortcut. So if you always go for the short route and never learn, then in the end you will always have to go for the shortcut. But if you learn the actual skill of pattern drafting, and in the end you will not have to buy any patterns anymore because you can draft them yourself. Maybe a bit of an overdone tip, but make pieces you are actually going to wear. So don't go make pieces in a color that are not in your closet anyway, or shapes that you have never worn before. Try to make pieces you actually know that you are going to wear. So maybe you go a bit more into copying clothes you already have and prints and colors and styles before you start to add new things. Because when you put time, effort, money into making that piece, you don't want it to end up in the back of your closet not being worn. The most expensive clothes in your closet are the clothes that are not worn, because I talked about it a bit before, but the cost per use is going down every time you use something. And if you buy something for 80 euros and you never wear it, it will stay 80 euros because you did not use it ever. If you buy something for 80 euros and you wear it 80 times, then it's only 1 euro. Girl math, I know, but that is true. The price goes down the amount you wear it. So if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video is don't focus on sewing the cheapest things possible. And really, if you want to make designer-like pieces and you want to make things that you can't afford, then you don't want to go the complete opposite and doing all the cheap things. So if you want to make designer-like pieces, focus on these three things and don't overdo them, but try to optimize them as much as possible. And that comes with intention. So think about the fabric you're going to buy, the type of garment you're going to make. Am I actually going to wear this? Are the tools that I'm using needed, or am I overdoing using tools and using tricks and whatever? So buy better fabric, learn the skill, make things you truly love, and build a wardrobe that you really, really want, in qualities you want, in styles you want, in colors you want, in patterns you want, so that you're going to be obsessed with it and it will be worth every penny. If you want to learn more about sewing, pattern making, drafting, whatever, make sure to go to the link in the description where you can join my community. And if you're ready to draft from basic blocks, not only using measurements but also more technical parts of pattern making, then you can also join my program. Also link in the description to see more about that. And then please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your best budget sewing tip, because I know you have good ones and I want to learn from you too. Okay, that was it for this week. I hope to see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.